meeting open. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance first.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So far. Okay.
Reading of our mission statement.
The mission statement: the duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Lower Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Newbury Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites, or surroundings that would be included in such proposed local historic district. The purpose and goal of our committee: to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the past history of our town. A Lower Green local historic district will create neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and improve the settings of those buildings and places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district.
Thank you.
Are there any notes on June 10th minutes? I think Joy, you sent me a few. Thank you very much.
I think
I'm not hearing any.
Motion to approve?
Looks
good to me.
Cool.
reading glasses.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved.
Now, should we sorted the
Yeah, we're on MHC guidance, so update on.
just wondering whether we sorted the officers thing. just to
Oh,
be- right.
yeah, it's not an agenda item, but you're absolutely right. We should, or unless we should save it for additional business. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
it wasn't on the item.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
MHC
MHC guidance update. Over to you, Robin.
Right. This goes towards the boundary issues, which we've started doing, and discussions that I have had with the MHC. And consequently, I would like to, in conjunction with what we're going to be discussing on the boundary, there is some information to impart and a motion. And that is, I think I'll give my copy to Joy. Which I think should be read in to
Into the records.
into the record.
Shall I?
So, yes, you would know this.
Okay. The justification for Lower Green Lower Local Historic Study Committee proposed boundaries. Our process: the Lower Green study process to evaluate properties for inclusion within the study boundary and criteria to be considered in delineating the boundaries of the Local Historic District, LHD, are based on significance of the properties and their contribution to justifiable protection for the LHD as follows. History associated with the property, its historical significance, of the property and/or structures on the property to the town of Newbury. Architectural style, centuries-old farm buildings and domestic architecture of the 18th and 19th centuries. Visibility of property and structures from within the proposed local historic district and from public ways, noting that High Road has been designated a scenic byway. Integrity of structures on property and the condition of the structures. I would like to also add that the scenic byway is a federal designation. It's the scenic byway of Essex County Scenic Byway, which is Route 1A. And it's a federal designation. So areas of concern. The immediate area surrounding the Lower Green that has changed little from earlier times, still surrounded by centuries-old farm buildings and domestic architecture of the 18th and 19th centuries. The Lower Green, properties adjacent to the Lower Green, properties bordering on approaches to the Lower Green on High Road, Newman Road, and Cottage Road, and the first settlers and evergreen burial grounds. Results of initial evaluation. Inclusion of all properties immediately adjacent to the Lower Green based on inclusion criteria, i.e. addresses, inclusion of selected properties bordering on the north side of Cottage Road, addresses, inclusion of selected properties bordering on the east and west sides of High Road, north of the Green, addresses, and south of the Green, addresses, and the Newman Farm Meadows, which is owned by the Essex County Greenbelt Association. Exceptions. 2 Cottage Road property and structures. The old barn fits the criteria for inclusion in an LHD, in a local historic district. Discussion with the Massachusetts Historic Commission determined that, first, properties are typically not subdivided to include individual structures, and second, Massachusetts Historic Commission is satisfied that existing covenants are sufficient to protect the structure of interest, the old Plummer barn, and referred the issue back to the Lower Green Local Historic District Study Committee for inclusion. 277 High Road property and structures. Home and outbuildings fit criteria for inclusion in the local historic district. Property owners have conducted significant restoration and renovation on the home and are planning additional renovation of the property. The owners have requested to be excluded from the local historic district boundary at this time. Study committee has consultations with Massachusetts Historic Commission to include the property in the local historic district, but not require that any LHD restrictions apply to the property while it is under construction. Massachusetts Historic Commission states this would not be considered appropriate and the property should either be included with all of the restrictions or not included and therefore have none of the restrictions. In the event that the current or future owners of these properties decide to be included in the Lower Green Local Historic District, they may request consideration of the LHD and the MHC at that time. Motion to full study committee. The subcommittee therefore recommends that these properties be included in the Lower Green Local Historic District, but that the 2 aforesaid mentioned exception properties, namely 2 Cottage Road and 277 High Road, be excluded from the local historic district boundary designation and dropped from the study at this time.
Motion seconded?
Discussion?
Discussion first?
Discuss it, or?
Anything?
In some of these portions, like where it says addresses, the idea there is to put the addresses in of the buildings that are in those
Which come
categories.
from the spreadsheet.
And this XXX at the motion is the total number of
Yeah.
Right.
properties.
Can I ask though, does that bar the motion from being passed? Because well?
No, I don't think
Okay, okay,
so. No.
yeah.
Just explaining what it meant
Yeah,
by
okay,
right,
by
right.
addresses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're all. You've
All
started.
right, I
Motion.
seconded, motion seconded.
Okay. All those
All
in
in
favor?
favour?
Yep. Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Wonderful.
very good. So we can now move on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So once this is completed, we'll be able to put those addresses in,
Right, so
and
they
then
can
we'll
cover
have a
it.
total
Yep.
number for that
Yeah.
portion,
Mhm.
okay.
Where are we?
Does the committee feel it's a good idea in the minutes to verbatim copy and paste that motion with the addresses and the full number, or is that not? Does that, or maybe just the motion?
The motion,
Or,
yeah.
yeah,
I
okay,
think so.
all right.
Yeah.
This-
I'll put the motion in there,
Yeah.
just, yeah, I mean, it'll obviously be in the video, but it would be good just to have
Right.
the outcome of this discussion in the minutes.
And you've got a copy of the whole thing.
Yep, I've got it emailed. Okay.
This was nicely done, Ellen, as is all of your work.
Oh, thank you, you had a chance to read that, that was
Yeah.
fairly last minute,
I
at least.
have-
What I did was I squished everything on the same
One,
page just by widening the margins.
Yeah, good, so that is a nice segue into our study plan progress report.
So-
I took the liberty of taking the significant properties that I just came to mind from my background in Lower Green, namely the Ferry House, or the Tolman's House, Seven Tavern, I'm going by their names, not their addresses, apologies, and also Dole Little House, and wrote a brief architectural description and history of the significance of each property. I would be very much looking forward to feedback on that, especially as I got to Dole Little. The third has a lot more architectural details than Ferry does, and I can add those depending on how the committee feels we should get in the weeds.
Is the school called out by name?
No.
No, and I don't know that history, so if, Robin, or if
I
you
do
would like
like
to
it.
just a
No,
paragraph
that
of
would be
its
Oh.
long.
history.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
No,
Including
a paragraph.
Oh, that's no fun.
Paragraph.
No, just,
No,
it's
no.
just,
Okay.
and
Not a treatise.
And Lon, including in that a very brief description of its architecture, so what its style is, perhaps how many bays it has, what is just the very basic details of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I can also add,
But
like,
I mean, I'll compare it to the one I've replaced, which is exactly like it.
well, but that would be
except
good
it's
to notice, to
smaller,
say
right? So
that
it's
it
the
was
same style.
replaced.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, I like it. It's also roughly the same degree of words as the ones in the other reports.
yeah, I was trying to keep it really
To
brief.
keep it, yeah.
And we don't need to do it for all properties, but if where there were others that you know of that come to mind, please add it. Feel free to add more, I just, these are the ones I know. So,
Does anyone want a mint? No,
thank you.
yeah, there are Tic Tacs that are also in there, so how many? Yes, 1, 2. Oh, take 3 there.
Did anyone have an opportunity to look at the address inventory that is on Dropbox? And I know I sent it to Robin. You
Yep.
did, okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
And so I couldn't, it wouldn't allow me to edit it. I was gonna suggest I'll download it, fill it in, and you could just copy that column.
Did you get my voicemail?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, I tried giving you a call back, and I know exactly what the problem was.
Oh.
You're using Dropbox online, correct? Like Dropbox.com? You go onto your internet browser and type in Dropbox.
Well, no, I actually go to a Word document I have with a link to Dropbox. I click on
Yeah,
it and I come right up.
and it comes up to a website though, right?
I don't think so.
Yes.
It comes up to,
Yes.
well, it comes up to our Dropbox.
Yeah, but see, I asked because there are two versions of Dropbox. There's the website, dropbox.com, which if you're clicking a link, that's gonna take you to a website. And there's how I use Dropbox, which I have downloaded the app on my computer, so I have it on the desktop, meaning things are downloaded to my computer. They work the same, but online, Dropbox sometimes won't open Excel files in a format that you can edit them, so you have to say open with Excel for the web.
oh, okay.
And then it'll be editable, but
I can show it to
only,
you.
Well, I know how to do
one
open
person
with.
can edit it at a time.
Yeah.
And you cannot keep the document open, or
Yeah.
no one else can edit it.
Yeah,
So I put that in a voicemail, but yes, you should be able to edit it online.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try again.
Okay.
I might have to get my son over. Or Joy.
so what's format be,
although we were having trouble today.
So Form
Nice.
Bs are
Good look at
the
it.
State Register of Historic Places, so that is the Massachusetts Historical Commission's, that's what they call their inventory of historic places, a Form B. So, with that, and if you have it downloaded, teeny tiny little text there, but you'll see that I went through each property, and based on the knowledge I have of each property, I just put a Y or an N for whether I think it is contributing to the local historic district and therefore should or should not be included in our boundary.
right,
And that's the way that we determine what our boundaries are, right?
yep.
So, no big shockers, I think. We have a couple of outliers in terms of properties, and those are our cemeteries, but other words, it's, at least from what I believe, it's roughly around the Lower Green.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
I think that's good
Yeah, so that,
work, so we can now at least get
a map,
to draw the map.
we can, yes, so that's where we're
from
at.
this.
One way or another, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
please, by the end of the week, if everyone could do that, that would be really great. Thank you.
By the end of the week, meaning what day?
End of day Friday. Thank you. I mean, I guess you could do an end of day Sunday. I won't look at it over the weekend, but.
I'll either be able to do it, or I'll download it, fill it out,
If
and
you-
I'll give it to her, and she can copy and paste it in the thing, if you can get
I
on
was
it.
gonna say, or if you do have problems with accessing it, please just let me know sooner
Well,
than later.
I'll try this open with, I didn't try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try that. Yeah, pretty common issue with Excel on Dropbox, unfortunately.
It's the first place I've ever used Dropbox, so I'm.
Okay. Okay,
Now, in terms of melding in some of the things I did,
yes, and I will do that by the end of the week I'm okay, I actually don't want to do this. I have it online, but I will,
I did one for the.
yeah, he did monuments, ooh, sorry. And I will
This
combine
is
our
what monuments
spreadsheets.
are. I have mine is in color. Granted, my printer is dying, but it's.
This will be all in the appendix anyway, but just so
yeah.
we've got them. But on those, I wasn't sure who owned them. Town of Newbury, some of them are on the highway, but, you know.
There's also the one that's at the end of Cottage Road, where they.
Yes, thank you for reminding me about
Yeah.
that. Are we going to put that one in
I
as
don't know which one you're talking about.
the one that's
So-
on the slipway, the end
Is
of
that-
Cottage Road? It just says where they landed, and there's a big stone.
Is that the one that was like totally out of the,
Yes.
Correct,
Way
it is
far. Yes.
totally out. I mean,
Yes.
gotcha. I don't know.
There's also a monument at the new bridge. There's a little monument there that is right, it's on, okay, so if you're going south, it's on the left-hand side, right before the bridge, there's a little tiny monument
By the
there.
dock?
Yes,
By the town dock?
yeah. But it's up the hill, it's not on the town, it's not near the town dock, it's way up by the bridge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
It's up by the
noticed
road,
that.
right?
Yes, by the road, yeah, by the road.
what do you say? Just-
Well,
And I'm wondering, I'm looking here at your first settler's monument, and over on the description, it lists
Yeah.
the names of the original settlers, and I might replace that with early. Because it's not just 1635 people. It goes all the way up to like the Doles didn't come over to 1638,
Early settlers.
so just say early.
And I'm sorry, but you have to say early European.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
colonial,
What's
but
that?
yeah.
yeah.
I think you're
It
right.
needs
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
early European
Yeah.
settlers.
Okay,
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Good.
Correct, because, yeah.
Actually,
Oh.
on that,
Good point.
on that note,
Thank you.
I was on the Dole Little website today at Historic New England and actually looked at our, the first tab, which is the original settlers of Lower Green. And I copied that text and put it in a Word document on the Dropbox. I thought it was pretty well written. I think it's Madison's work. But it just it focuses more on Dole, of course, but it does go look at enslavement in the Lower Green and the slave revolt that happened in Newbury, and also the indigenous representation. So I thought that might be something to just have, whether it fits in or whether we can amalgamate it.
What's it, do you know any word in the title?
Yeah, it's, I think I put it under historic resources,
Oh.
Indigenous and Black History dash HNE. Yeah, and I also put some historic photos I found and a couple of maps, though I wasn't able to find too many, but I found some cool photos of the Lower Green, date unknown, but I'd say early 20th century, black and white, that were
I think I saw those in there.
Oh.
In the section, one of the sections that we wrote, there's a reference to the shot of the Lower Green from up on Old Town Hill, so.
Yeah, I found that and I uploaded it, but I'm not seeing it now in the folder.
Yeah.
I think it's probably stuck on my work computer and not uploaded for whatever reason, but I have it and I'll send it. I'll
Yeah.
upload it.
I've got two, actually. I've got one that's kind of the standard shot that kind of cuts off at the Plummer House over here and over on the barn. The Seddon Tavern's not moved yet on that shot. But it goes all the way over to I can't remember what their address is, Kinney's Barn. But there's also one that's this wide.
Yeah, it goes to like Rowley.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a little fuzzier, but it shows a bigger picture.
This is the one, I don't even know what direction this is facing, to be totally
Oh,
honest.
yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's. the
Which
one.
one's that?
It's been passed around, it's, just says, it
That
was
one,
from,
that's your,
that's
your house, Robin. See, this one is
Yeah.
my house.
Oh, yeah.
That's my house.
okay, so this is
Yeah.
looking
That's mine.
north.
That's looking north,
And this
yeah.
is one.
Seddon
Yeah.
Tavern's still out down there now.
Okay, so that's on, it's looking north on 1A from
Yeah.
the
So we've
southeast
got,
corner of
the
Lower.
one it's from, it's
Aerial.
from top, yeah.
Is it with the woman sitting down, kind of looking?
No.
There's one of those and then there's one of the cow. You know,
Well, I will
you
put
know.
all the ones that I
Agricultural.
I did find a map from 1830.
Yep, I found that one too, and there's 1831 as well.
Or, did I find it?
No, it's there.
Oh, wait, no, I got a different one, 1828.
Ooh,
This is the
that's
Lower Green
earlier.
plan by Daniel Dole.
Oh, marvelous.
So that actually did make it through there for some reason.
Oh,
But
sweet.
that is,
Is that one
I
that you
don't,
have?
I don't have
You
one
don't
that
have
old.
that one?
No, I don't have
And now I'm struggling to
1828.
find my 1831.
yeah, I don't know, this was reprinted in 1983 by the Sons and Daughters, so somebody's had it more recently. But it's, I'm gonna bet you that it's I think this is the one that was reprinted in,
Who has my house on that? So I'd be the
281.
That's interesting, that's so different, I mean, that's like a
Second one
survey
up
plan,
from the
almost
Dole
like
Little
like a
house.
zoning.
yeah, I think this is the first.
And then 3 years later, they're back to this.
Very, yeah, it's weird.
I think the
Yeah,
oldest one I have
1828.
has Captain
Oh, plan of the
Dan.
original settlement. This is the first version of the plan of the original
No.
allocation.
Poor.
Oh,
would be.
okay.
So it's not an actual
That's different.
1828 map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got very excited for no reason.
Yeah, that one was copied supposedly from another map by Daniel Dole, I think. in
That's
20
what this is.
Yeah.
This is the Daniel Dole version.
So at the plumber sale, at the Barton sale, when everything was sold in the tents, I have the original drawings with pencil of that map.
Nice, wow.
Nice.
I talked them into taking it around and putting them up for bid,
Wow,
and I was the only bidder.
wow.
So
So you gotta
I'm afraid,
$1.50?
yeah. I don't remember what, it didn't matter what, but
Wow.
you can see they've been taped together later on. We
Wow,
didn't
yeah.
have big enough paper.
Right.
And somebody taped them together later on, and it was all handwritten in pencil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, how is the Lower Green preservation history going, if you will? The precipitating
So
events?
we've got a couple of paragraphs. Oh, is this it? Oh, thank you. Well, I've gotten the first two sections done from what I called the final report, the final outline. And where's the, this isn't it, is it?
Did
No,
I print out the wrong thing?
yeah,
Is it
Ah.
this, I
is it
didn't
the,
print.
is it the
Oh, did you print it out, Robin? Good.
discuss the preservation need?
Here we,
Oh,
yeah,
is
here we
that
go.
it? Oh,
Yeah, so.
Where does it live?
Right. So I've got the
So we have
beginnings of it, so define the significance of the Lower Green and the schoolhouse to the community.
I
And then
wasn't
I've got
sure, I
discuss it.
think it's under
This guy, significant-
resources.
It's not under study report?
It's under, try historic resources.
Joy uploaded it or downloaded it or whatever.
And then, yeah, just by date.
Would it be,
No, that's not where I put it.
it would make sense if it was under study report. No? We got architectural significance,
I don't know, my name.
methodology intro. No? What's it called?
It starts with justification, I think, isn't it?
I saw one of those.
No, that's the other document, take it back. I don't remember what I called it. It wasn't necessarily
Can you
ready
look
for
by the
prime
date?
time, so.
Yeah, but, it's not,
Can I just sit there just for a second, Ellie? These
Yeah.
aren't, my good glasses died, so these ones I have to be like right in front. So, oh, I think I put it under process materials.
Did all this come out of, where did all this come from originally?
One in July.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
This, because about the green as the training
Oh,
area.
this
for-
is it.
This is the one green. This is
Oh,
right
upper?
on it, Yeah.
I thought it was the upper green.
Don't look,
That
you're
was-
totally distracted.
I think they used both. The upper one was called the training green.
Right, yeah.
There's a difference there, but I think they used both.
But I mean, this is well documented,
John Wonder.
verifiable, fact checked.
What's the question? I can't hear
It's
you.
fact checked, the
Is this fact checked?
No.
It's hearsay?
It's waiting for an editor.
Because it was the upper green was the
Training.
training green.
That's what it was called.
Well,
And I just,
didn't, what's Roy's first name?
and they probably trained on
What's-
both greens.
Jim Roy.
Oh, Jim.
Jim said in the video, the Save the Lower Green, that the Lower Green was the training green, and they left for the Battle of Quebec from the Lower Green.
Huh?
So Jim must have known that.
Hopefully. It certainly wasn't the training green where it's spelled wrong.
Right,
TNY,
right, yeah.
The training green is the upper green.
Yeah.
But it's my understanding that they used both of them
Right.
for training.
Probably
Right.
would have, I mean, I just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I know,
so
you don't, yeah.
this section is, what is this section? The beginnings,
This one?
it seems to
Which
go
one?
through a history of the Lower Green. Is that correct? Just
Yes.
Well, the outline is on top. This came out of the outline that's online.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at what I assume is the draft that you guys have
Right.
put together in that section. Page, starting page, it doesn't have page numbers. Yeah, under study report, discussion of LGLHD beginnings,
Yeah.
and you're defining the significance. This section, what you wrote, is it a history of the Lower Green?
It is partially, right. It describes what the Lower Green kind of is.
I thought that's what you were doing.
And where did it come from?
I
That's
did,
what I
I did
was-
do some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It came from a whole bunch of material that I had on my computer from the demolition delay bylaw, from Save the Lower Green, from my
So
first
it's
shot
all-
at doing the local historic
Okay.
district.
I think there was some miscommunication going on.
I think there was some
It sounds like
misunderstanding
there
about
were
this.
some wires
Yep.
crossed.
Okay.
That's okay, because I've done nothing useful.
We can, as part of that, I'm sorry, I haven't read this, so I don't know, but as part of it, the history of the preservation in the 21st century that has led to the creation of this study group.
Well, why it is significant.
No, why this study group exists, what has been demolished, what has been threatened, what has been protected, what Florence Bushy Evans did, that,
That is not in this.
okay, that is, I thought, what you guys were writing.
Right, no,
Oh, okay.
this is-
I thought I was doing the narrative
But it's-
history.
Yeah.
No,
This-
that's
but this
that's
is-
the second part. That's discuss the preservation need, recent events,
You didn't.
that's,
But I think
Okay,
somewhere we're gonna have to have a bibliography of where these
Oh,
things came
yeah,
from.
no, yep,
Well,
Right
there
at
is-
the back.
There is a bibliography
but with
section.
with
Is it-
footnotes, so they're
Footnotes.
citations.
Oh, it needs
Yeah, it
citations.
needs to be cited.
Yeah,
Just
it needs
to-
citations. yeah.
Yes. It just-
Okay, so I think there was just some crossed wires on exactly.
All
who's
right,
doing
so
what. This
can we
is good, this is good.
clarify, can we
Really.
clarify
So
then?
according to the minutes from last time, Lon and Joy were drafting a discussion of the Lower Green Local Historic District and its precipitating events, i.e. what development or preservation pressures have been happening in recent years that have made this study committee a worthwhile endeavor. Right, like Save the Lower Green movement, why is that a thing? What barns have been
Okay.
torn down or,
Which is,
right, which
That kind of
is, which
stuff.
is the second bullet.
yeah, so
I'm
I'm just reading from last
Yeah.
last meeting's minutes on kind of what we were, where we were headed. So this is good,
This is
I will
the-
read it.
which is the discuss the preservation needs, this part. of it.
Yeah, that's why I was, without
Yeah.
having read this, I
Okay.
didn't know if that was part of the
Because
section.
the
Yeah.
first part
Um,
really is Bethany's.
Right.
Yeah, that's, yeah, and then I also
Yeah,
saw some
but in a
architectural
way,
history in there
this
too, and
gives
I was
you-
like, wait.
But this gives you something to work off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
to
well,
expand upon.
again, I'm following the outline.
Yeah.
The first part was to define the significance of the Lower Green.
Right, well,
And
Yeah,
so
but
on, and
we've
then
broken up the
discuss.
outline not in order, so
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay, that's okay. We're making progress.
yep, absolutely. So,
Okay,
And what we didn't do yet is the last one, which is neighborhood support of the process and the history. of
yeah,
that.
and that's,
Getting together at Robin's
Paragraph
house
on
and
that.
really putting the whole thing together.
that's also, like, that will really come together as we do our public meetings too.
Well, that'll be included,
This is
right?
one that I just found, I thought you would enjoy.
yeah,
That is a photo we just found, this is on it's next to the Parker Bridge, this is the landing.
Oh
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So the dole is just to the left of this?
What is it?
Yep, and there's a sign.
1890.
That's in your book, that's in your book,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it?
is that,
It's,
Bethany?
it might be in the.
I think that's in your
Historical Society
I've got one of these with the ferry
It says
sitting down
Born
there too.
Pianos at
we want to get
PB's.
some of these in.
Yeah, these are all in the
With the sign.
folder.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I pulled them in, but.
What's the name of the ferry that used to run? I can't remember.
Carlotta.
Yeah, that's it. I've got one with it sitting here at the dock with
Nice.
people coming off of it too, at that same shot.
Old name.
It's great.
Yeah.
Sounds rather risque, doesn't it?
Carlotta.
The Carlotta.
It does, yeah.
Let's go on the
And then we've got
Carlotta.
another one of Old Town Bridge as well.
Yeah, we'll select some suitable ones to go in the,
Why don't I upload a bunch of, I've got
Yeah,
just
in
like
the- which
tons
one?
of really good shots of
Yeah, please do.
that area. I'll upload those.
Do you know Old Town Hill Farm? There wasn't there?
So do you have the Bushy Farm before it was,
Yes.
yeah.
Is that in the folder?
No, that's what I say, I'll upload all
put
those.
them all in, yeah.
Look at go back and look at what's in there, because I just put a bunch of bushy
Okay.
photos and some other things in there. There's a beautiful painting, et cetera.
Okay, so regarding that section, do you guys have citations for that? Would that
No,
be?
we don't, We need to do citations for.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's, all right, that's, I'll put that with you guys.
Make sure that goes in.
And then, would it be possible, do you think, to put a deadline of when you could get those citations in so that we could all then, start adding edits? What I wanna do, just so everyone knows, is what I'm going to do, because clearly we are all like writing things on different documents and it's
Yeah.
really hard to find them all. I'm gonna put them all together and I'm
Right.
gonna create a draft of our study report this week. That's what, so,
Yeah.
this week.
Excellent.
I will create one document that has all of the stuff that we've worked on so far,
Right.
so that we all know where it is, have access to it, right?
An outline would be useful too, if we're using different outlines.
Well, there is
Dates
one,
and
there is
dates.
one outline on the Dropbox. There's
Date
one approved
everything.
outline
Okay,
on the
that-
Dropbox.
Okay, I got mine off the
Yeah, I've
Dropbox, so I
cleaned-
must have the right
I've
one.
cleaned up the Dropbox, yeah. So under study report, like the study report folder, there's the last edits of all of those things that we voted on a while ago, including the study plan and the study and the outline. So those are good. But what I'll do is I'll put all of our pieces together so that we actually start having a draft and can figure out where our holes are, what we really need. But then, and I will do that by the end of this week.
Okay.
So that, would it be possible then for you guys to, like, would it be helpful to get edits first and then citations? Or would that be more helpful?
Edits then citations?
Or citations then
I
edits?
guess there's no reason to try and find a citation
Yeah.
if we're gonna not include it
Right, right.
in the report.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. All right, once we pick a date
it's
for
gonna
our.
be fun trying to find all these after 10 years.
Once we pick a date for our next meeting, then let's kind of work backwards and set some intermediary, just deadlines, so that we have times when we can make sure that we're just editing, we're finding certain notes, and that gives time for work after that, before our next meeting. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm hoping like 1 or 2 more meetings, and we actually have a draft that we can
Right.
send to MHC.
And I'm not
so-
going to update any more of my spreadsheet.
No, don't. I will
So
mush
you
them
put
together.
in, and
Yeah.
then we can jump
And then we
in.
can, yep. Mhm.
Fine, good.
Okay. All right, bite-sized pieces is good. Cool.
Okay, so,
Cool.
excellent, good, we're making good progress.
Okay, Bethany, I think last time we were talking about Dr. Baumgartner from
Yes.
Northeastern,
Yep,
with regards to African American history in
yes.
Essex County.
yep,
Does she have any resources that might be useful for that? or-
nothing
Okay,
regarding the Lower Green in particular.
all right, that's easy then.
But she she referenced the work that had been done by Tricia Peony, by Dr. Peony on
Yeah.
slave labor in Newbury and the Great Marsh.
Yeah, okay.
And I will.
So there's no evidence of anything specific?
Oh, no, there's.
But there was
Oh,
a
there isn't?
slave revolt, right?
And the Doles we have lists of the names of their slaves.
So we
and
we
enslaved
definitely
people
need to
that-
put that in.
Yeah, and that's in that document I
Right.
just copied. It has
Yeah.
some of the recent history that we
Not
have
my
covered.
house.
We just
Little-
go back
little
before
house.
then, what about, we were pursuing to help on the indigenous community that was here.
Yep, so there's a little bit of that in the, I think there's a little bit of that in the Historic New England
Mhm.
intro. And
Yep.
there's a little bit in the way overdone history piece that I threw in there as well.
Okay, so it sounds like we could kind of mush maybe those together and have a bit. It's,
Sorry, I did not do more mushing myself.
no, that's okay.
That's
It's, I think,
fine, right.
again, putting them all in one place and then mushing will be really helpful.
Yes.
There's the person who's the assistant town administrator. I'm forgetting his name now, I'm having a blank. I think his last name is Fields. He has underneath his contact information, a piece that is, I really like. It says, the town of Newbury recognizes that we sit on the ancestral lands of, and it lists several different tribes. I really like that wording.
It's a land acknowledgement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I really like
We ought
that.
to get that in.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's important to do that. And I presume it's credible, I mean, he's.
Right, exactly, that's what I mean.
These,
Yeah, the language that I use is so general that it can't possibly be wrong. I think I
Right.
prepared a language group or something.
I think I was just trying to open this document because I start doing the lists whom as well. And unfortunately, we're still waiting on our Indigenous scholarship to be kind of released to the organization, but they don't go house by house. They're really looking at the general region, so it won't go in depth about Newbury. So it's, yeah, I don't know.
So we have something that, when I was just looking generally around the museum, we have recently acquired the division of the Commons on Old Town Hill from, yes, apparently the lands all around Old Town Hill were considered common pasture at one point. And we just got the original book.
I think Lon has a map that shows the division of the common land of Old Town Hill. Remember you showed me that map and there's
That's
like,
the 1635 drawing by.
Yeah,
No, we have the actual,
I'm sorry.
oh my, wow,
The
Yeah.
actual services book,
Wow.
we just bought it at an
Wow.
auction.
wow.
Not just last year, but as I was going through, I was reminded that I have it, so
And
that's.
there's clumps of hair by night torn out and taped
Seriously.
onto those.
There's, yeah, it's really early and it goes back to that.
right.
What date is on that, or approximate?
1727, I believe, was the earliest. It was one of the last pieces of, hold on, it's not, my computer's not functioning.
Where did you accrue it from?
We bought it at an auction. And it's not really clear, and we actually transcribed it as well, so there is
Oh, cool.
interesting information there. But if we're just, it's not gonna be terribly useful to us, except that we could reference its importance, historically. As
Yeah, it's a primary document.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Right, that's-
Wow.
It's very useful.
Because I think the map you're referring to, Lons, is the grants that were given
Yes,
out
yes.
to, which were just, it wasn't drawn up accurately, it was just, someone just drew lines.
Yeah,
on
right,
the
right,
grants.
right.
And it may have been done somewhat after PSA, but it was the grant given out, people had like an acre lot or something.
Right.
Yeah.
5 acres here, 7 acres there, this, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think it went up Old Town Hill.
It did go up
Did it go
Old
up?
Town Hill.
I don't remember myself.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
went up
green,
Old Town
but it
Hill.
might have.
It's the green, it does go up, and it
Yeah.
also
It
goes
does
down
go,
Cottage
yeah.
Road. Well,
Yeah.
the one that I was just looking at, the 1828, does cover more ground, and it goes down High Road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
right. Okay.
It's a little bit more comprehensive than I had remembered.
Right. Oh, we certainly need to investigate. Okay, so,
Any other updates from you? I just more
I
at
can't
the time.
wait to see your
wanna-
mushiness.
Cool.
Once you mush,
Mush.
I
I'll
will-
mush mush. Then edit, help edit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I put down my own book as a footnote?
Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
can.
yeah,
1720, sorry.
Absolutely.
1720 is the
1720.
date on this book. So in, yeah, I don't know, this might be an interesting, like, graphic that we could use. This is the,
What is it about?
this is the front page of
Definitely.
the proprietor's of the division of the common pasture from the Old Town Hill.
Wow.
This references 1720, but there's other dates. And we own this book, so we can use images from it.
wow.
Interesting.
It was purchased by the proprietors of.
Yeah, some of the photos, also uploading photos, if you have the sources on where those came from, put those just in the title, like on the Dropbox, because we do have to cite photos as well. Sometimes it can be hard because we don't know their rights, right?
You can just say, courtesy of the Museum of Old
Anything that
Newbury.
starts with a number is courtesy of the Museum of Old Newbury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Those are all from the John White Winder collection. And I'll put other ones in there. I didn't have time to rename them.
What is the name of the collection?
It could just say Museum of Old Newbury.
No, but you said what?
John White Winder, who's a photographer,
White
who's a
Winder.
photographer, yeah.
He did a lot of Newburyport,
He
right?
did most
Yeah.
of the reports.
Yeah,
He was,
very early, right?
No, he's like, but very, very good.
Yeah.
We have his entire glass plate negative collection.
Wow.
I'm gonna just put a scan from the front page of the,
I think getting that on would be quite good. Something really authentic.
Yeah.
Because the rest will
I
be
can bring the
photographs.
actual book in.
Yay.
Photographs, just
Stolen from the Newbury Historic Commission website, doesn't it?
okay, right. So
Next,
well,
next item, Lon, did you happen to reach out to Essex to confirm or corroborate the Newman Pastures sign? I don't know what that means.
No, I don't.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
there's a reference there. I thought, why did that come up?
We were talking
There's a
about it
reference
last
there,
time, and
There
we
was something on the
weren't
sign and it
sure.
didn't, but
Yeah.
we couldn't.
We weren't sure if it was accurate.
There was something on it that we thought was dubious, but we figured if it was on the sign that maybe they got it from
Did it have
somewhere.
something to do with the Underground Railroad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. Okay,
I did not.
okay.
Was it the
And
Newman?
another reason to call Kate, so,
Was it?
or somebody there.
Greenbelt.
Newman
Yeah,
Pasture.
Please, yeah.
Newman Pasture.
Newman
sign.
Pasture sign, yeah.
Well, that's just.
Oh, yeah, right next to, just on the west side of Lower Green, that sign in
Yes.
the,
Yeah.
at the trail.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
Ah,
yes.
that sign. I was thinking like one of our old monuments. I was like,
My
Yes,
guess
talking
is
about-
Dave Reimer is the guy that you talked to there. He's the guy at Greenbelt that I've
Dave
been working
Reimer?
with on that, well, on that.
Newman
yeah.
Farm.
yeah, he's one of my, I work with him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. Okay, cool. I will add your methodology introduction section as well in the mushiness that is happening, so I will put that in where it belongs.
Would you like to hear the description of the Newman? Because it's interesting, it's got some.
Go for it.
Okay, Newman Farm Meadow and abutting Newbury Lower Green are steeped in hundreds of years of local history.
Slow down.
Sorry. Newman Farm Meadow and the abutting Newbury Lower Green are steeped in hundreds of years of local history. The Newman Farm Meadow, conserved in the face of encroaching development, consists of old field and pasture land. The open field is proximate to other tracts of conserved land, including Old Town Hill Reservation across Newman Road. When the English settlers arrived in Newbury via Ipswich and the Parker River, they found Pawtucket settlements, including an agricultural village they referred to as Quascaconquin, called Old Town today. The indigenous name does not refer to a waterfall as is commonly claimed, but means best place to plant corn. John Endicott Jr. first bought land at waterfalls on rivers in Essex County, including the upper Parker River from the Sagamore and Masconomet. Falls were important as sites for colonists' first woolen mills, sawmills, and grist mills. I'm reading this without my reading glasses, by the way. This is rogue. The Pawtucket family living at the falls at Byfield was headed by Pumpasonaway, also known as Old Will. Pumpasonaway? Who had several other land holdings and residences in Old Newbury, which they spell O-U-L-D-E.
Is this from your book?
No, I have never heard of, that's not true. I have heard of Pumpasonaway, but I've only heard of him as Old Will.
Yeah.
And his heirs sold parcels to colonists such as Richard Dunner and Henry Sewell for their farms. Given its extraordinary historical significance, the Lower Green and its surrounding pastoral landscape was listed in 2010 by Preservation Massachusetts as one of the 10 most threatened historic sites. So that's a nice succinct,
10 most,
When
just,
when
yeah.
was it, 2010?
and in 2010, and I pulled that record. and put it in the
That's the
folder.
one that we
Yeah,
got them to
Lower Green.
write. We got them to do that for
Yeah.
us. I remember that, yeah. I've got a copy of that, if you don't. I've got a copy of the certificate.
You gotta cite it.
Hmm?
Gotta cite it.
Oh, okay, cited. I won't have to cite it if I included it as an image.
That's right. You have to cite the image.
Yeah, he's what I was saying.
I may have the original, actually, that they sent us.
Okay, I think that was all the updates that I have noted from our minutes, so if there's anything else that anyone wants to bring up with regards to the study plan draft, now'd be the time.
Any more?
My only concern about everybody working off of a draft, which I think is wonderful, is the Dropbox sometimes can save multiple versions,
Mhm.
unlike Google Docs.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that.
I wonder if we should, I don't know,
Make
maybe.
it a Google Doc.
Well, we could. I like having everything in Dropbox better because it's all in one place, but we would have to be careful that we didn't.
So in
Take each other
Dropbox,
out.
in
Let's say someone's
Dropbox,
working on it.
yeah.
Yeah, and you can't work on it if someone else is working on it.
And also you can look at the date, you know, to see,
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
and
you
the
first
time.
when you first open a document, any document in Dropbox, it will say so and so is also viewing this document.
yeah,
That is the case.
yeah.
Don't change anything.
Right, but you have to look for that because.
Yeah,
Because
and then
you
it
still
disappears.
can make changes.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
18 versions of various
Mhm.
things.
So that's why I'm hoping we can maybe break up a little bit of the deadlines, just so that we're not all trying to work on it the day of.
An hour before the meeting?
Yeah, just to try and help a little bit with that. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I've got a comment that came up last time, which I think Bethany made. There's no real history of the green in the sort of 19th century, the 20th century.
Right.
If you remember, we got very good going way back to 1635 when it was
There's
set.
no real mention of
And
the
there's
green
no in here
19th century.
right? For example, the
The schoolhouse.
the trolley that went down
Oh,
to
yeah.
the from the centre of Newbury, Newbury Port, that went down to
Pavilion there.
and the name of it, because there was a photograph
Yeah.
of the name of the. Remember, we came up for discussion.
Yeah.
We ought to sort of so we get the timeline in, because they ripped all the tracks. In fact, they bent the road. They straightened the road
right.
That was
to get
I have
the
that
trolley
down.
out.
Three.
Yeah,
to
they
cause
widened
Caused the thing, and all. There's no vestiges of it left, is there? I don't think.
When you turn from High Road down going toward Plum Island on Rolfs Lane,
Yeah.
you can see the streetcar, you can see it, that the road is worn down, and you can see the street, yeah.
Oh, you can see it
yeah.
through the asphalt, really.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I have a piece of light rail in my basement that I was told came from that
Right.
that track from the
Yeah.
trolley, and somebody had hammered it into an anvil. So it's about this long, and it's just a light rail
Yeah.
railroad
Okay.
track.
But, and also
Yeah.
there were loads
Yeah.
of big buildings on the
Right.
thing, and they've all gone,
There was
you know.
the dance
I think,
hall.
you know,
That's the pavilion.
Yep, we
we
might
can
mention
put that
that.
in there.
So I
We
did.
have a lot of good
I
pictures of
spoke
that.
to Scott Nason, who's my go-to gentleman for anything, documents, photographs. And he does not believe that there has been a good history of the Lower Green, you know, that covers the late 19th and early 20th century.
It's important.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody, I think everybody just focuses on it being the first early.
right.
So that's gonna take a little bit of work, actually.
We have those photographs, right? Like I feel
We
like
have.
we looked at some last meeting. Am I
We
making
did.
that up? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, those are primary
Yeah.
sources
Well,
themselves.
yeah, but also there's the schoolhouse, you know, the site of the
We need to add that
schoolhouse.
to the.
Yeah, 1877.
Yeah.
1877 for the existing one, but I have a photograph of the one before it.
Is that in the Dropbox?
No, I haven't put anything
No,
in
we need
Dropbox
to-
up. I mean,
We
and
also
Please,
do
please
that.
upload things to the Dropbox.
Well, I hope computers, it's half full of Newbury and Newbury Lower Green and local historic district and,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But I've
Now's
got,
the time now.
I could dump the whole folder up into it.
We ought to have a paragraph on it, because it was, you know, it's representative of the school system way back then, which was one single building
If nothing
ages.
else, I should give you the photograph of the school that was there before, the school
Yeah,
that's
it's
there now.
also
Both of them.
obviously
Yeah.
important as the central
I know,
structure
right.
of Lower Green, so
So-
yes,
Exactly.
that would be an architectural one.
As
to-
well,
to-
yeah.
to-
Yeah,
Though I thought
absolutely,
Long was
yeah.
gonna
Yes,
do that
we need
brief
to put it all
paragraph
in
of
there,
that.
it's easier, yeah.
Okay, cool, so yeah,
And,
18th century.
When did the trolley thing run from
Well,
and to?
right, I mean, that's where I'm at a bit of a disadvantage, because if there's no secondary sources and the sources are on your computer alone, then I don't have any way to write that history.
No,
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
We better-
I'll
we better-
look for it all, I mean, I've got
Make a
Or,
note.
or,
Hundreds of
well, I
photographs.
mean, maybe you would be able to, since you have a lot of this knowledge in your head, maybe you would be able to just pull out important
Yeah,
dates
that's what I'll do.
and photographs from the 19th and 20th
Yeah, like
century.
I've got a shot looking at the,
Yeah.
at the
Right.
second bridge that was ever put in, and it shows the Dole Little House, and then I've got almost exactly the same shot a couple of years later, and the pavilion's there.
Yeah,
I think,
So that shows us the sequence, and Old Town Hill is in it, you can see it's all pasture, and it's, you know, it's basically Kirkwood, it's pasture land.
I think locals could help us out, like Nancy Thurlow, Fred Thurlow. They could probably tell us when the rails stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my father was born in 1909, and he remembers the trolleys. You could go all the way up to
Yeah.
Maine, you know, by light rail, basically, you know?
Well, I've got a picture of the trolley sitting in front of the pavilion with people standing around
Right.
it, and
yeah, something like that.
that's from a postcard.
Okay,
But,
right. Shoot
yeah,
that
yeah,
into
I found
the-
I'll
that.
put it all in.
Yeah, we're getting,
Yeah, you do.
getting all the.
We need
Right.
to
Last thing first out.
vote on,
Right.
I'm not
We need to very quickly
withholding
vote on
anything.
the
I didn't know I was supposed to
Okay.
put it all up there.
we did it, like
Right.
now.
Okay,
We can go back to the
next
talk about this.
item, there's no additional business. Wait, sorry, this is additional business.
Yeah.
So we have to, as we've signed up for the committee, vote for chairman, vice chair, secretary.
And I think this is the time of year, I'm not sure about you, since the dates are different, but annually we have to go down to the clerk's office and
sign
sign the
off.
book and,
So do we
Redo
need a
that.
proposal?
So-
And,
I propose to nominate Robin Etheridge. Yes? Did I get it right? I did, as chair for this coming year.
seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, right. I propose to nominate Joy as vice chair.
What's my last name? You have to say yes.
As vice chair.
Seconded.
Yeah, aye.
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 Okay,
Okay, thank you. All right, I move to nominate Elizabeth Paliga
Ali,
as secretary of the committee.
seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Awesome.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
We're all legit now.
Too legit.
Okay,
Shit.
no public comments. from the
Next
floor.
meeting.
Oh, yes.
And,
Okay, next meeting.
oh yes, when,
Is there a folder on there that says photos?
Yes, it's in
It's under-
district resources.
Yep.
Okay, resources, okay.
Sorry.
I've run across it because I was looking at some of the pictures.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember where I was. Okay.
month's time? Or-
Stand
Yeah,
back.
but I want to push it out just a little bit so that we have a little bit of time to do these edits and actually give, say, a couple weeks here or there to
Right,
do that.
good
So
point, yep.
looking at maybe the beginning of September, if that sounds okay. How's that just in general, like the week of the 9th maybe? Obviously not Labor Day weekend for week.
That would be okay.
So what deadline do we want for the work to be done?
Well, first, does the 9th of September work for everyone?
Yep,
For what, the next meeting?
Yeah.
Oops. Yes.
Okay. Are we to?
Yep.
Okay. Then that gives us what, 6 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Okay, 7 weeks. End of this week, I'll mush everything, and please get back to me on the architectural inventory by the end of this week, just so we can figure out a map of the boundary.
Yep.
Yep,
Then then let's say, what did I say, 7? 2 or 3 weeks for edits, for all of us to go on to that mushed study plan draft, or study report draft, and edit it.
So why don't we do 3 weeks?
Okay, so that would be from Friday, so 1, 2, 3. So by the 16th of August,
August 16th,
edits, done.
edits.
Okay, and I mean, that first round of edits, right?
Now, when you say the architectural history, who is doing that and what are we doing?
We are doing, Robin and I have been covering that.
You and Robin,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, and that gives them 3 weeks for citation search
Okay,
and additional time, because buffers are great. Okay?
So that's the date when the edits are due, the first round of edits are due to the
August
plan?
16th.
August 16th.
Yep, August 16th. And feel free to edit in terms of comments or track changes, since there'll be so many of us editing. I can send details on what that means.
okay.
But so that we don't override each other's edits necessarily, but we can comment and say, I think this would be great if it did this instead, or track your changes, so if you delete a section, we know.
Okay.
Okay. All right, 16th.
Meanwhile, you're going to do some collating of documents.
That's this week, yep.
first, yeah.
Yep, I will do that by the end of this week.
Right, excellent. Very good.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And I will push the
Do we
pictures
have
through
a
my computer.
meeting adjourned? Motion,
Motion to adjourn meeting?
seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.